Welcome to the Antlered Crown Wednesday Witchcraft.
Hi, I'm here too.
There you are.
Hello, I'm Amanda.
Now, this is a discussion on Christianity in witchcraft. Does it belong or doesn't it? You decide.
I think it's just more about the evolution of Christianity.
I was trying to build drama.
Oh, okay. Do it again.
Okay.
I'll be quiet this time.
No, we'll just keep it. Fine, it's fine. It's fine. You've ruined it now. You've ruined it. Forget it.
Fair enough.
Right. So, there has been, I think the one thing, look, especially nowadays, is the difference between witchcraft and paganism.
Right.
Because they are not the same thing.
They're not?
No.
Oh.
No. Paganism is more about sort of spiritual beliefs, systems of belief, and religion. Whereas witchcraft doesn't really adhere to religious belief. Not necessarily.
You could be an atheist and be a witch?
Oh, yes. Yes, you could. I mean, kind of. Atheism isn't about some form of religion, and they don't really believe in anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
in witchcraft, you have to believe in something.
Well, you have to believe in yourself, and I think, as far as atheists are concerned, I'm pretty sure they believe in themselves. Otherwise, they're
atheists. Comment below. Do you believe in yourself?
Do you believe in yourself? They're all like, oh no, what do I say? Damn it!
I mean, it's been a rough year.
Damn you, Elwyn! No. I've been hoisted. Now, the thing is here is that I think nowadays many people are so quick to steer clear of Christianity, especially those people who want to follow more traditional methods of witchcraft.
Right.
However, if you do any research into traditional forms of folk magic, you will find it to be rife with Christianity. We have to
You mean
take
with palms
and palms. Exactly. But you have to take into account the reasoning. And there are many different reasons that you have to take into account. Firstly, these people lived and worked in a time where to not be Christian or to be considered something of devil worship, witchcraft in any nature, was a hanging offence. It meant death, at least, well, not at least, but the most death. These people probably lived on the outskirts of society in the first place because of what they practiced and what they did, but people nevertheless would come to them because when someone's in need, they may be first to cast the stone, but they're also the first one there when something goes wrong. This is something a witch learns very quickly. Now, in order to kind of do such things, oftentimes religious psalms, prayers, reciting certain passages from the Bible, they were done in front of clients. Okay, there is also still witchcraft in Christianity.
Does that mean they hold less power? Because I think a lot of witchcraft or paganism is about the divergence from Christianity.
No, you see, that's the point. That's paganism in that sense. It's almost an act of rebellion. But what you have to take into account is you are drawing on the power of something. Okay. Now, for instance, let's just say, and I'm not saying it's true and I'm not saying it's not true, that Jesus didn't exist.
Okay.
I'm just saying, okay?
But then what will we do at Christmas?
I don't know. There's a rumour going around that there's, something else. No. However, Jesus, very much like Father Christmas, very much like the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and the boogeyman underneath the bed, has become an egregore. All this faith, all these wars, all this action, good and bad, tears and laughter, in the name of this one individual sought to be a demigod.
Yeah.
You use that name, yes. So therefore it holds power, because of all that power that's been invested from others' belief. Whether you believe it or not doesn't really matter. You're using it. That is something to take into account there as well, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. As well as the kind of distraction from, so people don't gossip too much about you. And as I said, there is also witchcraft within Christianity in the forms of healing, in the way of sort of like empathic healing and, what they were saying about, like I was saying before, about the wax limbs that they would make, and they would place them at the altars of saints in order to heal that affliction of what that person is. It's a form of witchcraft. As a matter of fact, if you look at any sort of form of church even, it is witchcraft. There's ceremonial robes, there's, wine and bread, there's candles, there's the burning of incense and smudging or saging of incense in that sense, in a way. And above all else, at Christmas they have the Advent candle. The Advent candle is a way of measuring time through the darkness of winter, in the middle of winter. That seems like a very pagan thing, especially if you know about ancient pagans. They were all about measuring and using stones and other things to calculate the year, based on agricultural purposes, but then again that was a matter of survival, so it was important.
So can you not believe in both?
Yes, of course, that's the point. You don't have to believe in it, but you could still use it, and if you believe in it more, the better. It doesn't matter. Some people actually make compactions with certain spirits or entities or deities, shall we say, that they will not acknowledge Abrahamic religion and the Abrahamic God, because, quite understandably so, there's a bit of a grudge against it. It almost eradicated out almost a lot of what we know about the old pagan gods and spirits.
Right.
So that is also a thing. So it depends entirely upon you. I never begrudge anyone. Someone actually asked me recently, said, do you consider Jesus a deity? I said, yes, of course Jesus is a deity. It's prayed to. There's offerings made. There's baptisms made in the name, of Jesus. Of course Jesus is a deity. Just because it's a mainstream one and it professed to be the only one doesn't mean that we have to believe that, but we can still accept and acknowledge that it holds power, whoever this is.
So even if you're not a Christian and you read older text that maybe has Psalms in it, is that something you shouldn't be using because you don't?
It's completely up to you. If you do not feel comfortable reciting a psalm, like I guarantee you, if you look up if you want to get your hands on some old folk witchcraft spells and cures, they will have psalms in them from something, some verse from the Bible about something, whether it's to counter a spell, to cure someone of something. You make the sign of a cross on someone's limb or whatever, and you say this. It's been done that way. It's always been done that way. And it's very much the same, not just only in my country, but in Appalachian. I was watching a thing recently about, they'd do a thing for kidney stones, I think it is. And they would place a rupture. When you have the rupture of the kidney, is it? Something like that. They would place a piece of cloth over the rupture, and then they would take toenail clippings, hair clippings, and fingernail clippings, place it in the piece of cloth, and they would bore a hole into a tree. Can't remember what tree now exactly. and then they would take a wooden ash peg and push the cloth in and hammer it, and then you hit it 3 times, and they say, in the name of the Son, the Father, and the Holy Ghost. And then they saw it flush and leave it. And that's supposed to cure of the rapture. And many, many people in this thing, I can't remember what it was I was watching now about Appalachian folklore, but they remembered doing it, and it worked for them in that sense.
Wow.
It is this power of belief. You see it even now. People go to a church in need of healing, and they grab them and they fucking thrashing them about, and then they get up and they're like, "Oh, it's not a power that this supposedly holy person possesses. It is the power of every single individual in there willing it to be.
Yeah.
That is just a coven. That is a coven unifying in order to do something, whether it's healing, cursing, doesn't matter.
Yeah, manifesting.
And
absolutely.
So therefore, in that sense, yeah, it works. And if you want to use it, and if you don't want to, it's completely up to your discretion.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I think we'll call it there. I think we've pretty much covered a lot of that, to be honest.
Well, that was this month's Wednesday Witchcraft.
Yeah.
We're going to try and do one of these once a month. So if you have any topics that we want us to talk about for a brief 10-minute, 15-minute video, just put them in the comments below.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.